Go ahead.
Yeah, it's live. We're live. What's up? Did you need to tell me some kind of secret before we start? We're just again. Hey, I'm new to live. Relatively, I've done 2 or 3 of these. I don't think you and I have ever done one though.
Yeah.
I think it's gonna be fun because like there's a little ticker up here. I don't know if you can see it on your screen. Can you see how many people are in the room?
I see private chat over to the side here. Is that what you're talking about?
No. I'll share all that stuff, and like when somebody says something in the comments, I can go boom and it'll pop up. So we'll do that. We'll get some engagement. We're early here. We're still 4 minutes early, so nobody's going to be on here yet. But I can see how many people are watching, and so I'm sure it'll. We'll get into the 5 to 6s.
Yeah, I would imagine.
No, we'll get a few people. We'll get a few people trickle in. I want people. There's 2 people in here. I want you to identify yourself when you jump in, because we're going to try to make this a little bit of a back and forth. What are you doing with your creepy background, dude?
What do you think? This is my actual background.
Okay, I know that, but okay, yeah, I want to make sure we're there. I don't want to see nipples. I don't want any nipples on the screen.
No nipples. No nipples.
You wearing pants?
Well, that's questionable. Yeah,
that's questionable. How about during COVID when everybody started doing Zoom stuff because the world was ending? Everybody was doing these Zoom meetings, and then like some of them weren't wearing pants. Some of them thought they were muted. How many people lost their job? Do you remember that? Like how many people lost their job?
Look. Whenever I was at Dunham, obviously at the time, right?
Yes.
We would have these weekly faculty meetings that we would be on, and they would be there was nothing visual, and so except for like the person leading it, and I did not know when I got on that I was actually on, and there was one other person that was on there with us, and they were like, Donna was fixing us a drink, like a alcoholic drink. I can't remember what it was, and she was like, "Hey, do you want this in it?" And somebody heard it, and they were like, "Hey, do y'all know that you're on?" I was like, "Yeah, we don't care. It's COVID," and I was joking. I didn't realize that. And then our head, Steve Eagleton, who's awesome, right? He's our headmaster.
Of course. He's great.
He texted me. He was like, no, you're actually on right now. I was like, oh, well.
And it's 9 a.m. and you're drinking alcohol. So. Yeah. The life of a teacher during COVID, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, my God.
Dude, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm struggling coming up with a third Grizzly Bear guy.
Easy.
Because
I'm 8 deep. I can carry us. For once, I did my research for once.
I've done it. But okay. I mean, we're only doing current players, right?
Active players.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I have 3. My third one is going to throw you for a loop for sure.
Okay.
Right.
I did some research on Grizzly Bears, and I put some thought into how they attack, the way they like to.
I didn't do that.
The way they like to kind of move. I started thinking about, if you get a left-handed Grizzly Bear, all hell could break. Maybe you want to go lefty. I don't know what you want to do. Huh?
A southpaw.
Southpaw, pun intended.
Oh, yeah. Well, and the interesting thing is they're fast.
Have you ever fought a Grizzly Bear?
I have not fought a Grizzly Bear. No.
Have you ever watched a Grizzly Bear square off with somebody and watched the Grizzly Bear kill him?
I've seen, like movies, which are a bunch of BS, but like if I had actually fought a Grizzly Bear, there's a really good chance I wouldn't be sitting here doing this podcast right now.
No, I'd be doing a podcast with a Grizzly Bear.
That's right. The Grizzly Bear that killed me. Yeah.
That's right. We went from 4 to 2 because, we're talking about Grizzly Bears, but that Grizzly Bear is going to have to carry the show.
I mean, are we leaving with that? Yeah. Okay. So,
yeah. This is about me, you, and the 2 people that are in the room right now who are too ashamed to admit they're in the room and identify themselves in the comments. That's what this is about. We're just gonna BS. I do need to I've started to monetize on YouTube, and it's actually working a little bit, and I haven't gotten any flags or anything, so I need to be careful. Your language is impeccable. Obviously, you're a gentleman and a scholar, and just
always have that.
You're just a well put together, man who just rarely uses foul language, especially on a basketball court. By the way,
never.
Yeah. By the way, listen to this. And so we, Cajun Jr. Cam has been cutting up our long form videos into little shorts, and we've been posting shorts. We did one where it was like comparing. I think we were talking about how Kobe versus Shaq. And you were saying you would choose Shaq as your, over Kobe, whatever. And that's fine. You do whatever you want to do. I'm close, on those 2. But and the Kobe people are the most sensitive people in the world, like Kobe GOAT people,
without question.
Without question. And so I always try to say, look, I'm just saying, I think he's in my top 8. He's 6 to 8, 6 to 10, maybe on a bad day if I'm grumpy. And somebody came in, he's like, that's great. 2 guys who have never touched a basketball arguing about Kobe. And I was like, I don't do this very often, but I was like, blocked.
Yeah.
It's like, you don't watch. Yeah.
Hey, let me ask you a question. When Kobe, and look, God rest his soul, okay, when he passed away, we originally, dude, we struggled finding him in our top 10. He has escalated since then. And I'm not sure why that's the case. I mean, not
to sound overly, heartless and, insensitive, but like when people pass away, we kind of reflect and people pay a lot more attention to the good stuff they did rather than the bad stuff. I mean, think about George Washington and Thomas Jefferson. I mean, all the famous people throughout the world is like, you tend to recall their good stuff more so than their bad stuff, I think.
But I'm just saying, like, what makes little sense to me is we literally were like, dude, I don't know if he's in our top 10. And this was for years we did this, and he had already won his 5th title. He's
been in my top 10. I mean, he's in my top 10.
No, he wasn't.
Yeah.
He was. I mean, he was on the fence. He wasn't like a lock. Now he's like 6 to 8. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like Kareem, for example. Kareem, you could argue, could be 1, 2, or 3, right? But for a long time, Kareem wouldn't even been in people's top 5. It's like he's aged better, whereas Bird and Magic have fallen off a little bit. It's weird. It's strange, I think. So
yeah, Will Sports Cards here. I forgot I got to share this stuff. My guy jumps in here and says, "We going to talk American League and National League MVP?" I'm like, yeah, I'm going to go with Andres Galarraga and Ichiro Suzuki.
I'm going with Don Mattingly, and I'll go with Terry Pendleton.
I'm going to go with Brooks Robinson and Sean Dunston.
I will not go with Sean Dunston because I don't even know if he made an all-star team. I will, however, go with Honus Wagner and Rogers Hornsby. Yes.
How old are we? I mean, it's called Old Head Hoops. Dude, we could do here's the funny thing. You and I could do a very informed, thoughtful episode purely on baseball from like probably 1980 to about 1990, maybe 91, 92 even.
Oh, I could do it further back than that.
I could go further back than that too. I could go further back than that too. But I'm saying really informed, like we lived and breathed it, man. We both played it growing up. You obviously you chose basketball. That's why you became good at it. And I didn't choose. So I played both in college at a very small level. But I lived and breathed basketball. I talk about it on the channel all the time, Jonathan, because I should have been buying basketball cards in the late 80s and early 90s. And I was buying baseball cards.
Oh, baseball, yeah. Yeah, well, just so our viewers, both of them, get this story straight, you were actually a good baseball player.
Yeah.
Whereas I was I would give myself average, if not a shade below average. So I had to choose. I really didn't have a choice. But
yeah, I was a pitcher too. It's like cheating. It's like saying I was a football player, but I was the kicker or punter. Right. No offense to my kicker and punter friends that are in the 8 people that are in the room right now, but good energy. Yeah, look, I never have a problem with energy. That's never going to be the issue. Who knows what's flowing through my veins? I will say there's no cocaine. I've never used cocaine, crack, or any of those types of substances, but I have been known to drink an energy drink or 4 on occasion.
That's fair.
Yeah, you don't touch any of that stuff. You drink Celsius.
Zoa.
That's right. You drink
the Rock.
Yeah. You're trying to get me in trouble. I'm not even going to talk about Zoa. You know what I think about Zoa. What's up, Swish Rips? Welcome to the show. We're live, Cross Up Collector. This doesn't happen often. It's like finding a 4-leaf clover or, seeing a little person on the street at the mall. It's like a very rare occurrence. It's like it means something special is about to happen, right? So,
by the way, back to Zoa real quick. Zoa, Dwayne Johnson's endorsement of Cajun Cardboard might help. So I'm just saying.
I know. I need to start talking nicer about Zoa because Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson is at the top of my list of potential affiliate partners.
There we go.
Okay. Yeah, for the Cajun Cardboard channel. So I tell you this: if Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson wants to endorse Cajun Cardboard channel, I'll start drinking your stupid energy drink, your inferior, stupid, feminine energy drink. I'll drink it.
Really? You're going to go there with Zoa?
I am going to go there. It's a terrible name.
Zoa is a cool name, first of all. Okay. Second of all, what do you drink? A Monster?
If I have to.
Red Bull? Like, what do you drink? Syrup? What do you drink?
No, I drink something called the Plague. And then I drink, I drink another thing called Black Nightmare. Right? So
I've never heard of that. That's nice.
I'm making both of those. I'm making both of them.
Those are
All right, look, we got 12 people in here, Jonathan. This is fascinating. Degenerate coffee drinker. I know you're gonna outlive me, Swish Rips. You're gonna outlive me because you drink coffee, which is just sort of maybe possibly bad for you. I know the stuff I'm drinking is terrible, and I've got to call it quits at some point. By the way, if Jonathan, don't get alarmed, I am changing colors because it's soccer season. So I go sit in a chair and watch.
Why is it just your neck and top corner of your forehead? Why just that?
Now I'll explain it to you because you're from Louisiana as well. The sun is above us.
Yes.
And so when the sun shines down on human beings and they are in a vertical position, it is only going to hit those parts of your skin that are exposed to the sun.
Well, why your neck? Why your neck? I don't understand. Just your neck, not your face.
Oh, my face is because my face is like a catcher's mitt, an old wrinkly catcher's mitt. Yeah, it's just like leather. You know what I'm saying? Like your car seats don't change color; they're made out of leather. But the lights on your headlights will fade, so that kind of deal. But yeah, it's just bad.
That's weird.
Yeah, it's super red.
Like you've been clawing your neck.
Yeah. Well, that's what you do when you use amphetamines. You're like the old Chris Rock episodes. Remember? No, I am on stimulants, Wills. That is a fact. Not that I need them, but great name for an energy drink. Yeah, Cajun Plague. It would be a great name for an energy drink.
Nightmare. Yes. Okay.
All right, so let's just start the live stream before we lose everybody. So we got 12 people in here. I think we're going to get well over 14 at one point, but let's just start. 3 topics, okay? Let me just talk everybody through this. We're going to start with the active NBA players that we personally, you and me, would start our NBA franchise with, okay? There's obviously no right or wrong answer. I think there's going to be a lot of overlap. I think our top 5 are going to be probably – how deep do you go on your list?
I went 4. But
okay, so I went 5. I went 4. I got a tie for 4, so I went 5, but really 4. The second topic is going to be who we would choose that is in the NBA, an active NBA player that we would choose to have the best chance to fight a grizzly bear with their bare hands. No weapons,
right?
No swords, no guns, nothing like that. Just man on bear. Who do we think would stand the best chance in a grizzly bear, like an actual fight?
Yes.
First of all, do you think there is any human being in the NBA today that would win a fight with a grizzly bear?
1.
Okay, you do have 1. You sounded very confident when you said that.
1. Yes.
Okay, well, I can't wait to hear what your number 1 is. And then the last thing we're going to do is, this is going to be a surprise. We're going to get basketball cards involved. So I had my I have a real job. I know people think I just talk about cards my whole life, but I have a real job, so I have a secretary. My secretary, I said, open these 2 packs and scratch through with a black Sharpie the name of every player on the front. So we won't be able to see their names, but you'll be able to see the picture of the player, and we're going to have a contest to see who can name the most players.
Okay.
There is one caveat. One of these packs, I told her, I said, there's only one rule. If you pull a Michael Jordan card out, just place it nice and gently to the side. Do not scratch. Yeah. So she pulled. This is a 1991 Upper Deck, not a very expensive product, obviously. But she pulled a Michael Jordan hologram out, which could be sort of valuable if it's in good condition. So one of the packs has one less, but I don't know which one. But we'll have fun going through this. We're going to save this till the end.
Okay, 2 questions for you because I haven't verified this with you, and you can help the viewers as well. Number 1, the first category. Is there a time limit or a time span that we're talking about when you say start your franchise?
You get the rest of their – okay, that's a great question. So let's make sure we're on the same page. You get their age right now. So you don't get to say Jokic as a 12-year-old. You get their age right now. That's where it starts. Luka Doncic is 5-6 years, whatever, into his career. So you start with where they are, the tread on their tires, their age, and then your expected – their expected career length, right? Okay. So we're going to assume, you take into account injuries, obviously. So you're going to take a less injury-prone person over a more injury-prone to this point. which eliminates Zion and Ja probably. And then, it's up to you. Like maybe you think that a guy like SGA who's shredded, an underwear model, is going to have more meat on the bone. That's what she said. Than Jokic, who wants to go race horses. You know what I'm saying?
You're saying it doesn't. There's no it's not like over 10 years or anything.
No, you get it all, dude. Yeah, if Wembanyama's your guy and you think he's going to play 23 years, you get 23 years. We know Jokic can't play 23 more years, so you got to take that into account. Hey, it's almost like what they call a redraft league in fantasy basketball. So they wipe the rosters clean.
Yep.
You don't have wings, guards, big. You got nothing. You got the first pick in the draft. You got the first pick in the draft to build your team around. Right now, today, August 25th, who's your guy?
Okay, second question. The Grizzly Bear exercise that we're going to do. Is it a cage match? Is it in the wild?
It is it's in Antarctica.
Nice. Okay.
On ice.
That's all I needed.
No, just kidding. It's in the woods, dude. It's in the woods.
Yes.
This poor active NBA player is taking a stroll through the woods, and out pops a grizzly bear. They're like, move real slow to the side and then back up. Don't run. No, we're going at it. You want to pop out on me? Let's go. Let's do this.
Because you're going to die if you lose, right?
Yeah, you're fighting to the death. You kill the bear, or the bear kills you.
You can't run is my point. You got to fight.
You can't run.
You
can't run.
All I needed to know. All right, I'm ready.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So I'm going to put these cards over here to the side. Let's go. Let's just start with your list. Let's start. You want to work your way? I've got 5. You've got 4. Do you want me to tell you the 2 guys that I have tied for 4th and 5th?
Go ahead. Let's do it.
So here's my 2 guys that I've got tied, Jonathan, for 4th and 5th. Number 1, we'll start with the 3-time MVP, Nikola Jokic.
Okay.
And then number 4, we'll start with Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. The reason I've got them together, it's kind of a weird little matchup here, is because SGA's got 4 extra years on Jokic, right?
Yep.
So, it was tough. Jokic was very difficult because if you said for the next 3 years, I would have taken Jokic number 1,
right,
over everybody.
Right.
If you said, hey, the next 3 years, who would you choose to run your? I would take Jokic, but he's 30. And also, there's a little bit of a concern that at some point there could be an element of disinterest from Jokic, where he's just like, you know what? I won my title. I've won 3 MVPs. These guys aren't even going to vote for me again. It's getting impossible to keep doing this. And plus, by the way, the Nuggets suck. So, but again, we're wiping the slate clean. So those are my 2 guys together for very different reasons. SGA's 26, Jokic is 30 when the season starts.
Yep. Okay. So for me, now remember, I only had 4. Okay. For me, number 4 was Giannis. And I do know that Giannis is obviously
30.
Yes,
30.
and he's become injury prone. My approach is going to be different probably than yours outside of the first spot, which I'm assuming we'll have the same person. And that is, I am going to choose short-term potential championship success over, a 20-year span. Like SGA, for example, okay? He's not on my list, even though he's a phenomenal player. And the reason why he's not on my list is I'm not certain that he can be the best player on a championship team. Well, let me take that back. I think he can be that, but I know these other guys.
But Giannis has been and can be still. But you also you didn't want the Giannis injury bug lately. The last 2 playoffs, that didn't bother you. I mean,
it did. It most certainly did. But again, I'm just banking it on the fact that the dude works his behind off. It's not a matter of him not being in shape. Like I would never have Embiid on this list, for example, right?
Of course, you can't take that chance.
Right. So that's why I will go with Giannis, even though the injury bug is hit, because I think he's going to work. Well, I think he's got a chance to work his way through it. And I know for a fact he can be the best player on a championship team.
And also the effect he has on the players around him. And plus you could build your roster around him. Like SGA is in an incredible roster that fits, really well right now. But imagine if you had Giannis and then you could decide how to spend your money. You could really make something special happen for him. So I'm going to go ahead and make an assumption. You have to have Jokic in your top 3.
I do.
Because there's nothing Giannis does better than Jokic except play defense.
Correct.
Right? Okay, so because if you're building a team like offensively, Jokic is freak of nature, whatever, right? Okay, good. Live rocks. Let's go, Jordan. I love it. I love the name. That is a great name for your little YouTube tag. That is, it doesn't get any better than that. Let's go, Jordan. All right. So I went SGA and Jokic tied for 4th. Let me go my number 3, Jonathan. And this is where this was Easy for me, and only because of the age. If he was 26, I don't know if he would have been number 3. But I go Anthony Edwards at number 3.
Okay.
Do you have Anthony Edwards on your list? You don't.
But he would have been. I'll tell you where he would have been. He'd have been 5th.
Yeah, he's 23, man. So you figure you're going to get 9 or 10 years of prime Anthony Edwards.
Yep.
You've only got 3 or 4 years of prime Jokic left.
Maybe.
And so that was the decision. It's like, you're right. I know what Jokic can do.
Yep.
I know Jokic gives me a better chance to win a title over the next 3 years than anybody on earth.
Yep.
Anybody on earth for 3 years.
Yep.
And then at some point, there's another fella that might give you a better shot we haven't talked about, but we're obviously going to talk about him. But Edwards, I feel like, could Edwards be the best player in the NBA? It's possible.
No.
I think it's not likely, but I think it's possible, dude. I think he could, Jonathan.
No. Look, he can be a first-team All-League guy for 10 years. Because of the guy we're going to have at number 1, he cannot be the best player.
I know. But I'm going to use your argument, which is not who's going to be the best statistical player over an 82-game season. I'm talking about the dude that you give the ball to in a 1-point game, down 1, with 45 seconds left on the clock, when the refs are letting people impregnate each other and beat the living tar out of each other, not calling any calls. Just give me a bucket. I'm not sure Edwards is not better off than he who shall not be named until number 1.
Oh, no, he may be better than that guy, but there's another guy that we're definitely going to cover that is definitely better than Ant at that.
Okay. All right, fine. So I know where you're going. So who's your number 3 then, I guess is my question.
Number 3 is Luka.
Okay.
And it was tough between that and number 2 because of age. But, if Luka, if he ever decides to get into tip-top shape,
too late, dude.
I know, man. I know.
He would have done it, Jonathan.
You know what? I would agree with that. Okay, but I'm just saying, regardless, he's the best or second best offensive player in the world, and whoever's third is not close to those top 2. Okay?
Yeah.
And so I feel like if there is a guy that you literally give the ball to at the end of the game and say, hey, just go figure it out, he's probably number 1 at that. Yeah. Right. So that's why I would put him 3rd overall.
Yeah. Well, I've got him number 2. So we'll move along. I've got him number 2. And I penalized Jokic probably more than you did, because I think 30 is just that magic number. That's what worried me about Giannis. That's why he didn't crack my top 5. Nobody's a bigger Giannis fan than me. I mean, obviously, I'm a huge Giannis card collector. The Bucks are my favorite team. Giannis is my favorite active player. I mean, everything screams Giannis, but, I'm trying to be objective in this deal, and I just can't put Giannis up there because he's 30. He just turned the corner on 30. Jokic turned the corner on 30. I just, bad things start to happen at 30, although, more recently, it's not quite as big a number as it used to be back in the day, with science and all that stuff. But
man, that's the deal. And look, that's my whole thing is, first of all, Jokic's game, and everybody who's watching this would agree, is not based on athleticism. Okay. So if I'm more concerned about the dude just being like, I don't want to play anymore, and I'm going to go ride horses or watch horses. Right. Okay. As opposed to his physicality. Giannis's deal. Yeah, fine. I got it. But I mean, he looked pretty damn good in the Olympics this summer.
Giannis. Yeah.
Right. And so I look at those 2 guys. I felt like those 2 guys, along with, ironically, the 40-year-old guy playing in LA right now, were probably the 3 best players in the Olympics this year. So I don't think the age thing matters. Like 30, you're 100% right. Used to matter a lot in the 80s and 90s. It doesn't matter as much anymore.
Yeah, 30 then is 33 and a half now.
And look, I look at it this way. Okay, let's say Giannis is completely healthy. I get that. It's hypothetical. But let's say he's completely healthy for the next 5 years. Who would you take, him or Anthony Edwards, to start your team?
The next 5 years, I would take Giannis. But guess what? He's only got 5 years.
But that's fine. What if that team can win 3 titles? Do you think Anthony Edwards wins 3 titles at any point in time in his career? He might. He might.
Well, I think Anthony Edwards has got 13 shots at it. Okay,
and I'm with you. And here's the deal. I love Anthony Edwards.
Yeah.
I love the way he approaches.
I'm just overvaluing the tread on the tire. Look, 13 years versus 5 years, Giannis has almost got to be 3 times as likely to win a title. I mean, that's a lot more, dude. That's 8 years.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I understand. I'm still going
63. Anthony Edwards is going to be in his prime. We're going to be 63 years old, 62 years old. Let that sink in.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, we won't even be able to see the TV. We're gonna have somebody explaining what's happening to us. We're not even
going to be in his prime then.
Well, 35. I mean,
yeah.
Here's the other thing: is I really worry about the way that Giannis's game is going to age. I can't imagine Giannis being a super effective dude when his athleticism wanes. He's going to be long, but I mean, is he when he's like 36, 37?
Yeah, his game doesn't age like Durant's, for example.
Yeah, or Jokic's, whose game is already aged.
Yeah,
and he's still the best player in the world. Right.
Yeah.
All right. So okay. So I had Edwards 3. You had Doncic 3. You've got Jokic 2.
Yes.
I've got Doncic 2 for all the same reasons you said. He's just he's got 3 less. Edwards has 3 years on him, but Doncic is he just got there. He just got there. So obviously he didn't get all the way there, but he got there, and so that's a big step forward. Yep. And I think Doncic's game will age better because he's old man basketball, and Edwards is not.
Correct. The other thing is, think about this: those 2 dudes that we have at 2 and 3, even though it's flipped, are the only guys that for a fact you can almost put anybody around them.
Yeah,
and they're going to succeed. I mean, look at what Jokic did with Serbia. I mean, the U.S. was lucky as hell to come away with that win.
They were.
Look at what Doncic had around him in Dallas, and they went to the finals. I mean, are you serious?
Yeah.
So, I'm with you on that 100%.
I can't wait till the season gets closer and we can start talking about, over-under win totals and start talking about MVP odds, and we can put on a list together where we pick all of our, award races and all that. All right, so we both got Wembanyama at number 1. That's is there an argument out there for anybody else other than Victor Wembanyama at number 1? Is there an argument to be made at all, considering he's 20? So we can say, oh, you know what? He's not in his prime yet. He's too young. Well, he led the league in blocks. He was first, he was on the all defensive team. And by the way, his per 36 minutes statistics were better than Shaquille O'Neal's rookie year, who had one of the greatest rookie years of the modern era.
Yeah, I do want to touch on something real quick before we move forward. I'm looking at Will's Sports Cards comment about Ant and not sure about his mental strength. I would argue vehemently against that. I think that's the dude's, as athletic as he is, I think his mental toughness and his approach is as old school as it gets. Now, should he say things like only Jordan had skill in the 90s and, that he's the go-to guy?
Yeah.
No, but the dude has zero fear of anything. So I would definitely say that puts him in a different tier altogether. And that's why these older guys love him. That's why they love him. Steph, Ron, Durant, all those guys. So anyhow.
Wills is saying that Ant-Man has he's a prolific individual off the court as well, talking about blowing by me with 7 kids. I haven't done any research on his off the court exploits, but he better keep making that money, otherwise he's going to follow the same path as Sean Kemp. Okay, so we both got Wembanyama number 1. Why do we have Wembanyama number 1? Well, let me screen share real quick and just show you some stuff here. Where are we? Here we go. Okay, Jonathan, I've got Basketball Reference, the compare feature pulled up. I've got Wembanyama's rookie year, Shaq's rookie year. Everybody thinks Wembanyama's so young. Well, he's 20, and guess how old Shaq was as a rookie? 20, right? We had the pleasure and the joy of watching Shaq play at LSU when we were playing in college, and we were watching him play. So this is Wembanyama versus Shaq, and this looks a little lopsided towards Shaq. If you look at their big man stats, points and rebounds, primarily points, rebounds, and blocks. Blocks are what and what. But points and rebounds is 23.4 and 14, 21.4 and 10.6. But here's the problem, and nobody seems to talk about it, is that Victor Wembanyama is playing 29 minutes a game and doing this.
Right.
Victor Wembanyama's per 36, when we continue to scroll down here, where am I comparing? Here's their per 36 stuff, Jonathan, highlighted. He averaged 4 more points a game than Shaq per 36. He averaged 1 more block per 36. He averaged twice as many steals per 36. He averaged 2.5 times as many assists per 36. And he was 0.3 behind in rebounds. And then his true shooting was actually really, really good. But Shaq's was preposterous because he dunked everything his rookie year. And then, Wembanyama's a great free throw shooter. Wembanyama is unequivocally, without any hesitation, a better team defender for sure.
Yes, without question. And the other part is, Shaquille, when he came in the league, was 300 pounds and was physically ready already.
Yeah.
Okay. Wembanyama, granted, he's never going to be this big monster, but he hasn't come close to touching the ceiling of what his physical, ability is going to look like. So his skill level is already far superior to what Shaquille's ever was. No question about that. Nobody's going to argue that. He's not as dominant right now because of his physical issues that Shaquille didn't have to deal with. But what remains and what people are talking about already is that it's not that Wembanyama can be the best defensive player in the league.
He already is.
It's is he or when will he be the best defensive player of all time?
I was going to ask you that question. Okay, so he was the best defensive player in the NBA last year. The fact that
I agree.
I mean, Rudy Gobert, come on, give me a freaking break, dude. Like Wembanyama, only because the Spurs were a G League team was he not the defensive player of the year, and because he was a rookie, and because Gobert had the narrative. Wembanyama is the best defensive player in all of basketball already. It's not even close. Yeah. Do you think he could be the greatest defensive player that ever played the sport of basketball?
I don't just think he could be that. I think it can be not close to whoever the second greatest is of all time.
Here's why I think you're right.
He's going to be able to the one thing, obviously he's going to be a great rim protector, but I think his ability to rotate and challenge threes and his ability, and people don't realize this, when you're watching an NBA game, okay, the 24-second shot clock flies by. So everything is a switch now, basically, okay, on a ball screen. If the big can just step out and absorb 4 seconds,
it's over.
It's done. And this dude not only does that, but if you go by him, it's almost like he's letting you go by because he's going to chase block everything. So, yeah, he's ridiculous.
Or you say if the big can hedge and go out, or just contest the shot without hedging. Like the dude just lets the screen happen and waits to extend. You know, it's funny because NBA players need a fraction of an inch. And you played high-level basketball, but NBA players are on a totally different level. They know they know if their shot's going to get blocked or if they've got a clean look. And clean for them is literally sometimes 1 inch of space. They know that dude is 6'7". He jumps about like this. We know how long his arms are. I've played against him for this long. He's going to get really close, but he cannot get to this. I'm going to release it a fraction of a second sooner. Wembanyama is screwing up those formulas. Like he's blocking so many threes that players think they have plenty of time. He's blocking so many of them. You can just tell he's doing something no one's ever done in the NBA. I think he could be the greatest defensive player that has ever played. Another reason is because I think he's significantly more intelligent than people are giving him credit for right now. The dude is really smart and checking a lot of boxes. Let me ask you this question, because right now they've got him listed as 7'4", 209. I think he weighs more than that. I think he's probably 220. But what do you think is his optimal playing weight when he's 25, 26 years old? Where do you think he gets to? Because, see, I think he does push 300. I think he does.
I don't think he gets that big. I think, so for example, Kevin Durant right now is about 240 pounds.
I know.
Super thin, okay? I think Wembanyama gets to probably 260, 265, and I think that's his optimal weight because I think that allows him to still move. It also allows him to bully enough around the goal, right, whenever he does roll to the rim and there's a switch and all those things. So, I just think he's going to be a nightmare. The other thing is what people don't realize, it's very difficult for somebody at his age to put on weight that fast because the metabolism is so fast.
Sure.
But
I was there.
Yeah, we both were. But
the
reality is his frame allows it, right? And so he
good shoulders. I like to look at shoulders. Yeah, you know, like if Chet Holmgren ain't getting there. Chet Holmgren's awesome. I love Chet Holmgren. Chet Holmgren doesn't have the capacity to pack on good weight like Wembanyama does because Chet Holmgren's shoulders, he looks like a freaking skeleton. And Wembanyama's got
the same way. Durant's the same way. You get thin shoulders for KD, whereas Wemby's a little bit broader. So it's kind of like when you look at take LeBron. Now, granted, I know they're two totally different specimens, but people say, "Oh yeah, LeBron was this big whenever he came out." No, he wasn't.
No, he wasn't.
He wasn't. Okay, he wasn't close. And he was probably, when he came in the league, he was probably 240, right?
Yeah, 240, 245, yeah.
But now the dude is probably 275, and people don't realize that, because he's a monster. But
Wayne, welcome to the room, man. What's up, Wayne Conklin? Wayne Conklin's a good subscriber of the channel, Jonathan. He watches a lot of our stuff, and he is a huge huge Caitlin Clark collector, and as is said that on numerous occasions his greatest wish would be to have dinner with Caitlin Clark.
Well, I will say this. I'm assuming you're being sarcastic about that.
I am.
Caitlin Clark is the fact that she wasn't on the Olympic team was a crime, and I would argue that she is the best women's basketball player of all time right now, and it's close. But by the time she's done, it won't be close.
Yeah. You know what? It's hard for me to judge because I would never, under any circumstances, even with a gun to my head, ever watch women's basketball. So I can't compare her to Cheryl Miller or Sue Bird or Sue Ellen Bird or any of the other Bird ladies that have played before her. Gigi, what's up? Welcome to the channel. But I am rooting for Caitlin Clark because I think that she was unfairly disparaged. And I'll be quite honest with you. I think, there was some I think she was unfairly treated on her way into the WNBA, and I think a lot of people were like, "There's more to the WNBA than just Caitlin Clark." No, there's not.
No, there's not, and it's
really not.
It's a lot of jealousy, and nobody paid attention to women's basketball until Coach Mulkey took over at LSU, until Kevin came about at Iowa. I mean, that's it. So look, you do not in any way, shape, or form, call us sexist or any of that. That has nothing to do with it. The facts are facts. Women's basketball was basically unwatchable for a while, right? Until this kid came in the mix and was like a female Pistol Pete. And then Kim Mulkey came in and had a personality and created a great team and created, so I get it. Anyhow, we can move on, but no doubt.
All right, let's move on from there. I got so much I could say about the WNBA, but we're just going to let that go. All right, so that's it, Jonathan. We both agree on Wembanyama. He's just too big. I think Wembanyama gets closer to 285, 290, which I know that sounds preposterous, but dude, he's 7'5". He's 6 inches taller than Kevin Garnett. If he's 6 inches taller and he's Kevin Garnett's thickness, which is not crazy thick, he's going to be 275, 280.
It's too much. And look, Swish Rips comes out, says tall, skinny guy. The bigger we get, the less agile we get. I disagree with that.
Well, diminishing returns. Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
I think it's a certain age. And also, if you're adding muscle, you're going to get quicker. Now, granted, you look at Shaquille, obviously he got a lot bigger, and obviously he was less agile after that. But that's not who we're talking about. But I do understand what you're saying, Swish Rips. That's why I disagree with Brian on this one. I don't think he can afford to get to 285, 290. I think
maybe not. Yeah. I just think spread out. We've never seen a person move like him at 7'5". I mean, whatever, 7'4", 7'5", 7'6". I don't know what he is.
Let's say he just tops out at 230. He still will be the best player in the world.
I agree.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
I agree. Yeah. Because of what he does on both ends.
Right.
All right, let's get to our Grizzly Bear topic. All right, we're 30? Oh my God, we're 37 minutes in already.
Let's go.
Let's go, Grizzly Bears. I've got honorable mention Grizzly Bear fights. This is who we would choose in the NBA. We've got 17 people in the room, and I want to get some input here. I want to get some input from you guys. Don't just steal my list. That's what this is turned into is I say who I think, and then you just copy me, and then the people in the chat copy me. I'm going to give you my honorable mention right now. You tell me if any of my honorable mention made you have a list of 3?
I have a list of 3. Yes.
Okay. I got undeniably, I've got Isaiah Hartenstein on my list.
He was a thought. He didn't make my list, but he was
okay. You were thinking about Isaiah Hartenstein as you lay down to go to sleep. Okay, fine. No, that's what you said. So I'm just repeating what you said. You think a lot about Isaiah Hartenstein.
Often.
Your favorite team is now the Oklahoma City Thunder, and you might lease a bed and breakfast in Oklahoma City to visit Isaiah Hartenstein. I've got Jokic on the fringe of because he's tight with horses, and horse jockeys, and he does that little cart horse racing thing. He's Eastern European. All that stuff creeps out Bears. Bears don't like that. Number 3 on your list, even though he's not got 1 ounce of muscle in his body.
Doesn't matter. He's 285, and I don't think he cares about much. I think if he locks up with a Grizzly Bear, I think he's got a better chance than all but two guys that I have on my list. So,
it's funny. The cross-up collector chimes in, and he hasn't cheated off me. He's not looking at my paper yet. I've got Steven Adams next on my honorable mention list, even though he's past his Grizzly Bear fighting prime. You've got him number 1?
Oh, we'll get there.
Okay.
Couldn't agree with you more. The fact that Steven Adams is not automatically number 1, and I know who Brian's going to have number 1, and it's going to be a martial artist who you don't use martial arts against a grizzly bear. Okay, so
it's not a martial artist. Who would the martial artist be?
James Johnson.
James Johnson. No, I don't have James Johnson on here. He's too old.
All right.
He's too old, dude. He's too old.
Steven Adams will be able to fight grizzly bears.
He's too old. He's too
Cross-up
old.
Collector, you and I are on the same page for sure.
Yeah, Steven Adams, a cross-up collector, and y'all can get a room. I've got Steven Adams in my honorable mention. Next on my honorable mention, this is somebody you probably don't even know because you would never watch this team play basketball. I got Beef Stew. I got Isaiah Stewart on my list.
Oh, now he's a problem.
And he's a problem. And he's a problem for a bear, right? He's a problem. He's a huge problem for a human being. He's a problem even for a bear. It'd take the bear some time to put him down.
I didn't think about him. That's a good one. I like that. I like where you're going. He's crazy.
Wayne Conklin missed the part about first of all, Latrell Sprewell weighs 161 pounds.
Maybe.
On his best day with a bag of pennies, a pocket full of pennies. Latrell Sprewell is not an active player, Wayne. I know you know that. So we're talking about active players only. Otherwise, we wouldn't be able to do this because Ron Artest would be number one on everybody's list. So
or Ben Wallace, one of the two.
Or Ben Wallace or Charles Oakley. It would always be the same three guys. Right? Those three guys.
Right. But here's the deal, Wayne. Latrell Sprewell, I know he choked PJ Carlissimo, but a little known fact is that PJ had him down and was beating the crap out of him before he choked him.
Another little known fact is that grizzly bears weigh 800 pounds and PJ Carlissimo weighed about 75 kilograms. And he was an old white man who likes to read novels in his spare time. So very, very different, right? Gigi, I am about to kick you. How do you kick you out of the chat? Gigi, how do I kick you out of the chat? Draymond would be the dude who plays dead. He'd be the 6'9", 235-pound dude that just goes down on the ground and plays dead and looks around to make sure that the bear's not looking at him.
GG, I will say this. Draymond's the guy I most want to see fight a grizzly bear. For sure. Yes.
I would. We got to keep it positive, but I would be in for that too.
I would like to watch that. Yeah.
Yeah. The last time I paid for something on pay-per-view, Tyson ate somebody's ear. Mike Jones says Zion. Hey, a hungry Zion. What about a hungry Zion?
That's not a bad thought.
Mike Jones is thinking outside the box. He's like, you sprinkle a few Twinkies on the ground and some Snickers, maybe a couple of little Butterfinger bites behind the bear.
Are they fighting in a line at a buffet? I mean,
what if you put like a Denny's buffet behind the bear and said, Zion, if you get through that bear, that's your buffet.
Okay. Now we're talking. Mike, not a bad call there.
Mike is one step ahead of us. Mike should be on this show instead of you. I'm going to replace you with Mike Jones. All right. So I got two more on my honorable mention. When I say if you got the NBA here and I say the word lumberjack, who do you think of?
Well, I would have said Steven Adams, but
that's possible. But I think more like Conan the Barbarian when I say Steven Adams. I got Jonas Valanciunas on my honorable mention.
Not bad. That's not bad. I like that. I like where you're going there. Yeah.
It's not bad because. I mean, look, if you said he was a Viking, if he drinks mead, he drinks mead out of a flagon and just goes all over him.
Turkey stuff in his
turkey. Beats big turkey leg thing. I mean, you could do it. And then this is one of my favorite guys, despite being undersized. Now, let's be real clear. Wayne says Bam Adebayo. Okay, that's better than Latrell Sprewell, and he is an active player, but too polite. Too nice.
Nice.
Too nice. Could never fight a bear. He would never be my choice to fight a bear. But good defender, good team defender too. Let's just revisit because I'm about to go with an undersized candidate right here. I want to remind the people out there that bears weigh 600 to 800 pounds. Okay. Yes. A full-grown male grizzly bear does. They will not attack unless they are provoked or caught off guard. I want people to understand that. They can run 35 miles an hour.
By the way,
I read something that said they can run up or downhill as fast as a racehorse. That is not true. I don't know who told. I don't care. There's no way that's number one. You've never put them side by side, right? But would you watch that?
Then why don't grizzly bears run in the Kentucky Derby? That's what I want to know.
Well, I think there's only one reason.
Because they're not allowed to. Is that what it
is? The jockeys there would be no jockeys left. All those little Hispanic dudes would be little snacks. The jockeys would eat them all up. I don't know about you, but every jockey is either from Louisiana or he's Hispanic. Have you ever noticed that? It's weird.
There's a lot of Louisiana jockeys.
There's a lot of Louisiana jockeys. Yeah. All right. Gigi has gone. Listen to me. Gigi has gone from Draymond Green to the biggest flopper in the NBA. Gigi, you're losing credibility with us.
Embiid falls more than any guard in history. He falls more than any soccer player in history. Oh my God.
Embiid is a soccer player.
Oh,
nobody. He says, Wayne, when you hear who number one is, you will understand why nobody you're picking has a chance. Just give it some time, man. Let it marinate. Let it marinate. Swish Rip says he's got a free agent. Boban Marjanovic fought John Wick
and lost.
He did lose, but he put up a hell of a fight in the library
for a little bit.
Yeah.
For a little bit.
Okay. Well, Marjanovic is taller than the Bear, but I think the Bear would get him. Yeah. Marjanovic definitely couldn't run, so he'd have to fight the Bear. My undersized choice is Lou Dort.
Oh, okay. Well, he was number 2 for me. I actually had him number 2 on my list. Yeah.
You weren't concerned about the fact that the Bear weighs 700 pounds more?
I'm concerned about the fact for all my guys with the Bear. Okay. Yeah, that's not an issue. The issue is who do I feel like is going to last the longest and maybe do something that causes, I don't know. I mean, if it's a fight to the death, do I feel like Lou Dort has an engine that will not stop? Yes, I do. Do I feel like he's got leverage too? He can get underneath the Bear potentially.
That's right. Bear's not posting up Lou Dort.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
Jonathan, have we dismissed Luke Kennard too quickly?
Not quickly enough, actually. It would be the consensus. Luke Kennard. He's a softball.
You sure? You tell me you put this guy in front of a Grizzly Bear. Who's running? Who's flinching first? Who's flinching first?
Oh, man. That is I would say that Luke Kennard, the question is, how much urine would run down his leg?
His hair is awesome. All right. Maybe if we do a who would you choose to do your taxes episode instead of fight a Grizzly Bear.
Okay, dude. Who's in your 3? Who's your top 3?
All right, we're about to get to that, but let me ask you a question while we get Luke. Let me get Luke off the screen. So let's keep Luke on the screen. If you were in a fight with a Grizzly Bear and you couldn't turn around and run, you couldn't walk sideways, you couldn't slowly back away, you couldn't play dead like Draymond and Bam Adebayo, what is the best way to harm a Grizzly Bear? Do you go for their testicles? Do you go for their eyeballs? Do you go for his eyeballs, Jonathan?
Like Ric Flair, poke him in the eye.
I'm not joking, man. This is serious. What do you do?
I don't know. I think you try to get behind him somehow and choke him out.
Get behind him. Well, that was a suspiciously quick answer from you. I don't think you get behind Grizzly Bears. I don't think you're going to flank a Grizzly Bear, for lack of a better word. I think you better think a lot quicker than that, or you're going to be Grizzly Bear dinner real quick.
Yeah, I'm not sure I'd last much long. I probably, as I do jump on the back of his neck, I'm not sure I'd last very long back there.
You try to get on him and like try to get around and maybe choke him?
Choke him out. Yeah.
You're out, dude. He's going to flip you, man. You're gone.
Okay, what are you doing? What are you doing there, Bruce Lee?
I think I go straight for the testicles, man.
You're gonna get in there? You think? You think you?
I don't want to get in there, but if you back me into a corner, what do you want me to do?
Well, you're kind of
scared his eyeballs are
too. You're going straight for his nuts. So I'm just trying to figure it
out. The problem is I'm not getting to those nuts if he's on all fours. If he's standing up like this and trying to intimidate me, maybe if I'm lucky.
So you slide drop kicking?
A young Cajun cardboard might be able to get at those nuts, but not if he's on all fours. There's no way. So here's the thing that concerns me. My next thought was his throat is too much. It's too much. Yeah. You can't squeeze it like this because his neck is literally as big as 800 pounds, man.
Yeah, I can't wrap
I'm thinking eyeballs. If you could get both his eyes out, but then you got a deranged blind bear trying to bite and kill everything in sight. He's swinging everywhere. It might make it harder.
Yeah.
All right. Let's go to your number 3.
Well, I already gave you my number 3.
Oh, tell me who it was.
I had Jokic 3, I had Dort 2, and I had Steven Adams 1.
Okay. It's an admirable 3, but I don't have any of those 3 in my top 3. I'll be honest with you.
Okay.
And now I'm starting to regret the Steven Adams thing because I once heard him make a comment about not eating with utensils and eating with his hands, and he seemed real comfortable with it.
Did you see Shannon Sharp completely?
Right here, my friend.
Okay.
Right here with Bobby Portis. Right here.
Bobby Portis's eyes would be removed from his head within 10 seconds.
Ain't nobody removing those eyes, my friend. Nobody's removing those eyes, not without some kind of surgical instrument. Bobby Portis' eyes are the least of his concerns. He might be dead, but he's going to give that bear a hell of a fight. And I think that bear is going to think twice.
His eyes would be the one thing that a bear might be afraid of.
6'10", 250 with the craziest eyes you've ever seen. No bears ever step to anybody that looks like that.
And ask, what was old boy, the European guy that doesn't play in the league anymore?
Wayne says, what about – I'm assuming this is in response to my testicle theory. He said, what if it's a well, I'm screwed if it's a female. I've got to go for the eyes, and I'm probably going to get my hands bit off, Wayne. There's no doubt about that. Thinking outside the box, Jaylen Brown outsmarting him is the key. Human Hashimi comes in out of nowhere, completely out of left field, and wants to outsmart the bear, which I like that thinking. I like the thought process. Yeah. But what sort of monkey business, what sort of hijinks would Jaylen Brown have in store for this grizzly bear?
Well, he doesn't have a left hand, so I'm not sure what he's going to do there. That's a problem.
We know Jaylen Brown's only punching with his right because he ain't using his left. If it's nut kicking, Draymond's got a chance. That is a good point. That is something that we did not think about. Did Gobert sleep with Draymond's wife? Dude was so personal about it. Will's is off topic. We're not getting into Rudy Gobert sleep with Draymond's wife. Wow. How do you know? Everybody's back on. If I'm talking about nuts, we got to get Draymond in the mix is what everybody's alleging. All right, so number 2 on my list. I think you're going to like this, and you might have overlooked him. Jonathan, his nickname is the Bosnian Bear. He's basically a more terrifying version of Jokic, in my opinion.
Other than the fact that he's the softest big in the league. Yeah, that would be great. You know what? In fact, I wonder how long it would take for all 4 of his limbs to end up in different corners of the forest.
You don't like Nurkic is my number 2?
I'm not sure.
His nickname is the Bosnian Bear. It makes you think, well, he's probably already killed a bear.
It is.
Oh, I can't kill another one.
It is the most mislabeled nickname in history. Bosnian Bear is really cool, by the way. And
it is.
Nurkic is not that. Wow.
He averaged 11 rebounds last year, my friend. He's not as soft as you might think.
That's fair. So did Wembanyama. You think he's killing a bear?
I don't think Wembanyama's killing a bear.
I
might start my franchise with him, but I ain't picking him to kill a bear.
In a fight to the death, you take Nurkic over Jokic?
In a fight to the death, I take Nurkic over Jokic, yes.
Wow.
Yeah. Swish Rips is throwing LeBron James, arguably the softest pound-per-pound player that's ever played basketball in there. Again, LeBron James is my number 2 all time. Swish Rips. Everybody calm down. Yeah. No need to send death threats, but no, I'm not picking him in anything having to do with violence. No. All right, and then my number 1 pick, I will go ahead and tell you I cheated. I had to leave the NBA. It's an active player, but he is not currently in the NBA. But he recently rose to stardom for the French national team in the Olympics.
I like that.
You know where I'm going, right? Not Luke Kennard. By the way, that's what a bear would do to Draymond Green right there.
Or Luke Kennard.
A little head snack. I'm going right here with Gershon Yabusele.
Okay, that's fair.
Again, I'm sticking with the theme. Do you know what his nickname was in the NBA?
Grizzly Bear? I don't know.
The Dancing Bear.
Yeah.
Rumor has it as a child, he took ballroom dancing from a bear instructor, a grizzly bear instructor as a child.
I did hear that. And so he obviously has bear intellect as well, which is going to be interesting. So not only does he have Jaylen Brown's bear defeating intellect, he also looks like a grizzly bear from a build standpoint. So
he does. He's built he's a little rotund. He's a little puffy strong. You know what I mean?
That's a good call right there, by the way.
Yeah,
but I thought we were talking about NBA players, but that's okay.
I did. I cheated. I cheated. I just figured I'm going to go with Gershon Yabusele at number 1 when nobody else is even, he's not even eligible. So
I'll tell you what, I'm shocked because I didn't even think about Valanciunas. I cannot believe you did not have Valanciunas ahead of Nurkic on your list.
Nurkic is way bigger.
Valanciunas is a Viking. Literally is a Viking.
And Nurkic is a Bosnian Bear. He's a freaking bear himself. It's bear versus bear. It's 50-50. 50-50. Nurkic kills the bear.
Called the Bosnian Bear. This dude's called the Dancing Bear. Who do you think would win?
I think the bear is going to kill everybody. In fact, how about this? I had 8 people total, including my honorable mention, and we could throw Kennard in there. I think the Bears eating all of them, dude. I'll be quite honest with you.
I think Steven Adams has a legit chance. I really do.
You think Steven Adams is what turns the tide? Okay, maybe you're right. Can we? Will said, can we hire Bear to visit Draymond's house?
I like
Hey,
that.
keep it positive, Will. Keep it positive, Will. LeBron will cheat and play dead. Bear walks away. Ref don't see it. I win. Yes, that's a fact. All right, we're at the end here. Let's do it. You ready? I have not looked at these, okay? You're just going to have to trust me. I've got the facts.
I know.
But you know what I just realized? When I show it to you, I'm going to be looking at the back of the card. So it's gonna end up just being.
Just see if I can do it.
It's going to be just me quizzing you, which I was really only doing this for one reason, to show people how much more I knew about basketball than you. But here we'll go. We'll go one at a time. Let me see if I can. I don't know.
This is just 90s. Is that right? Just 90s?
This is 1991 season. So these are going to be players that were active in 1991.
All right.
This is going to be a slam dunk for you. You're gonna do great. That's easy.
Steve Smith. Okay. You got to scoot that closer to me. I think it's James Donaldson, but I can't really.
It's an all-star on the Spurs.
Oh, David Robinson.
Number 50.
Yeah. David Robinson. Yeah, it's hard to see.
I know. It's Steve Smith rookie card, by the way. I'm going to get that graded. Oh, my God. You got another all-star. I can't see.
Yeah, that's an East all-star. Is that Larry Nance? It's hard to see, man.
It's an East all-star guard and played for Milwaukee.
East all-star guard.
You would never have thought he made an all-star team.
1991. Is that
played the backcourt? Huh? No. I played in the backcourt with Alvin Robertson, the scoring version.
Scoring version of Alvin Robertson.
His name's on his jersey.
I know, but I can't see it.
I know. I thought this was going to go better. It's not.
Yeah.
Let's see if this helps. Let's see if this helps.
That will definitely help. Oh, it's really blurry.
Ricky Pierce. This is easy.
Should have got that. Yeah, that's Chambers. Okay. People forget how good Tom Chambers was for about 6 or 7 years with Seattle and Phoenix.
Yeah. You should get the. Oh, sorry.
I don't see a card. Who am I? Is it the Green Celtics? Is that Ed Pinckney?
It is Ed Pinckney from the University of
Villanova, 1985 national champions. No shot clock.
Easy.
Bloody butts.
Bloody bop. Oh yeah, that's not too hard.
Is that Otis Thorpe?
No, it can't be because he's dunking it easily.
That's Goggles. That's Olajuwon. Okay.
Yeah.
I thought it was a headband. Okay.
Yeah. He's dunking too easy. Thorpe would have shot a half hook.
A little bitty. That is Dwayne Caldwell.
Nope.
That is Dwayne Farrell.
Yeah.
Dwayne Farrell. Sorry.
Oh, this is easy. The Knick.
Oakley.
Yep. Oh my gosh. 2 in 1 pack.
Wow. Another Admiral.
All right. This is where you get to prove your worth. You're going to get that. The Trailblazer.
Okay. That's Mark Bryant.
Yep. Oh, I would have crushed this one. You're going to get it too.
Hersey?
No. He's in the post.
Well, some guards play in the post sometimes.
Most known for his tenure with the Phoenix Suns, UNLV product.
Oh, Armin Gilliam. Wow.
Yeah.
Nice.
Armin Gilliam.
Wasn't Hersey Hawkins 33 for
I feel like he was.
Yeah.
But I'm not. I've never been good with numbers.
Yeah.
Like my son is good with that. You're good with that. I'm terrible at remembering people's numbers.
Yeah. Armin Gilliam was good with Phoenix. He was.
Yeah. All right. Let's save it. Let's save the other pack. We did that pack. We'll save the other pack. We got to figure out a way. Maybe Cameron can show it on the screen or something so I can show people how smart I am. But you did pretty good. Dwayne Farrell stumped you a little bit. I think you meant Dwayne Farrell and said Caldwell because Caldwell's a big skinny guy for the King.
Yep.
Yeah, that was pretty good. That's pretty good. All right, so that's it, guys. That's the end of the live stream. Jonathan, think of some more topics, guys, in the comments. Think of some topics. Let's get through these. Let's get through these comments real quick. When Nurk just grows out his beard, he looks more like an orangutan. To be honest, probably true. Cover the back. I don't remember what that was about. Oh, cover the back. Yeah, I know. I could, but it was like, it's already too hard. I thought it would be a better image, Mike, showing it. But, Jonathan, I know it was tough for you to even see how you couldn't see it crisply. Yeah. Hold a card over the back. That was a good idea. I probably should have done that. David. Yep. Hersey. No, it wasn't Hersey. It was Armin Gilliam, but it did look like Hersey Hawkins, and I think that was his number. Chambers was awesome. He aged fast. Too bad he wasn't still at his peak when the 92-93 Suns team. Yeah, no kidding. In Seattle, he was for sure. He was awesome in Seattle too. Yeah, great live, guys. Thank you for watching.
Let's do this real quick. Let's throw 2 topics out and let the viewers choose as to which ones they want to hear next time.
Okay, give them to me.
One of them would be best players. We could do current only, or we could do all time. Players to run for president. Okay.
Oh yeah, that was a topic that we thought about outside the box.
Right.
Let's do all-time players. All-time players that we would choose, and we're not going to get political. Trust me, we're not going to get way off topic, but players that we think would be able to play the part because it is an acting role and run for president of the United States.
And then the other one would be if you were to fill skill positions, wide receivers, running back, quarterback, tight end. Okay.
Yeah.
Again, we could do current or all-time NBA players. Who would be your top guys? 2 wide receivers, a quarterback, a running back, and a tight end. So
what about you don't want to put Lyman in there as well?
We could do that, but I think
it would look a lot like our Bear analysis right here.
Yeah, you're probably right. Defense would be fun, linebackers and DBs and stuff.
So I think that would be fun. All right, we'll put it together. It's fantasy football with NBA players past and present. Let's do that.
Yep,
that'd be fun. That'd be a really good. That'd be a really, really good topic. Okay, those are the next 2 topics that we're going to do. Which NBA players would you think have the best chance to run for president? And then filling out a fantasy football roster with past and present NBA players. That's awesome. Yep. All right, let me get you back on screen since you're not on screen anymore. Here we go. Where are you? There you are. Okay, you're back. By the way, that black T-shirt, is that a Hanes? Is that like a?
It is the most comfortable T-shirt I have. I don't know what the brand is, but it's awesome. It's intimidating. No labels. As you well know, I do not do labels.
You don't. Right. You don't. You need one of these. I need to get your.
I like that shirt.
Yeah. I'll see if I can find a medium in the closet so you can look big and strong.
Can you find me one of those that doesn't have a label on it? That'd be awesome.
Like in a tag, or just doesn't say Cajun Cardboard?
Just a black one that we could imagine said Cajun Cardboard on it, but doesn't say anything.
So you want me to go buy you another shirt exactly like the one you're wearing?
Yeah, something like that.
That's an interesting request. Yeah. I'll think about it. All right. Thank you guys for watching the first ever live stream with Coach Pix and I on Cajun Cardboard channel. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. We'll do it again. We're going to try to do it occasionally on Sundays, but it's tough because we got a bunch of conflicts. So it's hard to get anything scheduled and keep it on the books and follow through with it because stuff comes up because we're both husbands and fathers as well. Thank you guys for watching. Keep collecting. Stay positive in the hobby. And peace.